Welcome, Aquarius, or Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign in the month of March 2025. Changes in your health, changes in your diet, but most importantly, changes in your money. Your money is going to be on the increase. Finances are looking up in the month of March. We have eclipses activating the financial axis of your chart, and we have an old-timey Aries eclipse finalizing last minute things that have been in play for the last year and a half. Because we have eclipses running through the month of March, it's a very important month. It has a lot to do with fate, destiny, whatever you want to call it, karmatic waves of change. And so it's a very important month ahead. We're going to talk about it in a chronological order through each week of the month of March, what you need to pay attention to. Grab a pen or paper. You want to write the dates down or save this video to replay later. So first of all, before we begin, you might be a newbie here, and my name is Lori Lothian. I'm a Western Tropical Zodiac astrologer. We are using the whole sign house system. And if you want to know how to cast your chart in the traditional host system of the ancient astrology tools and techniques, then please check in my description box below that free video tutorial. Hit the more button and you can go down, and it'll also help you find your rising sign. Should you listen for your rising or sun or moon, all three can work. Moon sign, body, home, rising, your character in the game of life, your avatar in the simulation, so to speak. And of course, the sun is about your deepest soul, but sun often is very career related, and moon is often home and nests and feelings. The rising sign is categorically most circumstances occurring in your life. I'm going to share with you one promotion, and you still have a chance to get 15% off if you get this video watched before March 1st. I may extend the enrollment for 1 week after the class starts. I haven't decided yet, but at this juncture, if you want to join my Venus retrograde class, it starts March 1st to April 12th. 6 calls with me live, replays available, 3 Q&As every second week, a fun collage party, a Facebook group. We're going to navigate a kind of Venus retrograde and Aries through to Pisces and back that we haven't seen since 2017, and it's a game changer because we also have Pluto participating, and that makes it first and once in a lifetime. So I'll see you guys hopefully in the retrograde class. This is going to be a fun astrological journey taken in the company of other astrologically curious and literate human beings. All right, so let's get started. Let's look at your sky. Let's bring it into the picture of the heavens. Now, I am an Aquarius like you, so I have an invested interest in this story. It's impossible for us to look at an Aquarian chart without noticing Pluto and Aquarius off to the right. We are in the throes of becoming purpose for something greater than our individual needs and wants. So evolutionary transpersonal forces are recruiting the Aquarians, particularly the Aquarius risings, sun and moon secondarily, into a huge mission from God. So we're transforming. We're cathartic, we're having catharsis, we're regenerating like no one's ever seen before. Now, guys, look. The week of March the 1st to the 8th is a very important week for everything good to befall you. This is a general reading. Of course, everyone's chart is unique, but you might be listening for your moon or rising or sun, and they're all a little bit different. But nonetheless, the skies are beautifully aligned in the first week of March through to the 8th. Let's talk about how that looks for you. In the beginning, for the first 3 days of March, you'll notice the sun and Jupiter are squaring off. Don't be afraid of squares between sun and Jupiter. Unless you're a world leader, then this is really about an opportunity, and it's an opportunity that's connected to advancing through some expansive growth in your entrepreneurial business that's going to benefit you financially, getting a creative opportunity that works well for your financial structures, or maybe having some good news going on for one of your children and their finances, or something good going on in your creative projects that can have a lucrative outcome financially. And so there's an opportunity knocking on your door in the first 3 days of the month. And because the stage and the sort of celebrity can also be about the 5th house, there may be a little burst of celebrity that benefits your checkbook or your wallet, depends on the field of endeavor. With Neptune going through your earnings house since 2011, a lot of Aquarians have capitalized on the film industry, photography, screenplay writing, movies, and YouTube or videography platforms online. And you could have a nice bump in your income in the first 3 days of March. Now, around the same time, Mercury, of course, is co-joining Mercury is co-joining with Neptune. Let's bring that into focus for ourselves on the 2nd. The two of them, first and second, you can say, as we begin the month, there's this energy of Mercury North Node Neptune conjunction and destined. Oh, apologize. We lost the Aquarius sky. Give me it back. Oh, give me 30 seconds to move the ascendant way the hell back so that doesn't happen again. So your second house of earnings has got a massive stellium in it. It's going to be very big at the end of March, and it's big at the beginning of March. And long story short, the second house is an earnings house already. So that's why we're so liking the opportunity that first 3 days. But you also see that Mercury, North Node, and Neptune are lined up also in the first couple of days of March. So there's kind of a financially destined increase, expansion, or growth experienced by you through Mercury's lens, which can be ideas, communications, or phone calls, okay, going on here, or something that you're speaking into the world, having a nice financial glow up for you in the first 3 days of March. Like as a YouTube creator, I'll probably be dropping an eclipse video or something like that. Maybe it'll do better than I think, better than I anticipated. And if you make digital income, borderless income, and revenue, add revenue from YouTube, all of that stuff, that can look like Saturn ruling your 12th house in a part of the stellium. So increasing your digital income revenue, borderless revenue, or just your job revenue, depends on what you do in this lifetime. Looks like it's happening in the first week of March. On the 5th of March, Mercury sextiles Pluto, the god of commerce, sextiles the god of riches. And that's because Mercury will move on the 3rd into your 3rd house. So Mercury, the god of commerce and commercial success, is in the house of writing. It's in the house of social media, is in the house of travel, teaching, and learning. Now, I'll be teaching my Venus retrograde class. I'm using me as an example. So maybe there's going to be such a really beautiful energy flowing between transformational, god of riches, that which is hidden, that which is transformative and regenerative, and Mercury, the communicator in the house of teaching, but also learning and also traveling, and also the house of social media, and also the house of your writing project. So something really glorious is happening here, Aquarians. Just a lovely sextile between Pluto and Mercury, giving you a lovely glow. And with the goddess of money herself in the 3rd house, you may be healing a wound around making money in online settings and teaching settings, learning settings, or even in writing capacity. So see what happens here. I write at Substack. Maybe one of my posts at Substack will go viral. Wouldn't that be fun? Now, you can see the Pluto Chronicles. Check it out in my description box. You can see that the 7th and the 8th of March are also quite beautiful because now Mars will flow in his direct motion in Cancer, which is your work house. He will flow in a beautiful, lucky trine to the sun in your earnings house. Now, there are ways to parse this. You could have a dramatic and a beautiful increase of physical well-being because of dietary change. You could have a passionate forward momentum in your work and your work, daily work routines and the work you do in the world, and a financial glow up as a result. And this is exciting because it feels like ease and flow. And it feels like passion. Mars is in the house of his joy in the ancient tradition in your 6th house of work. This is also the house of pets and rental properties. And because Mars is here and going to sextile Uranus later in the month, unexpected surprising opportunities to purchase a pet, unexpected surprising momentum and positive developments regarding rental property events connected to being the leasee or the landlord or the leasee, it doesn't matter. And those are things that are occurring potentially in the month of March. Now, if you make money on the internet, given that Uranus is the internet god, this is also simply reminding you that internet-based income is going to be blessing you in the month of March. Now, moving forward to March the 8th to the 14th, we have primarily two things happening. The eclipse on the 14th, total lunar blood moon eclipse. We'll get to that. And before that, between the 11th and the 13th, the sun conjunct Saturn, while also sextiling Uranus. Well, we know where that pileup is. The sun is in Pisces, where Saturn is making your financial situation since 2023 solid. Hang on a sec. Hello, this is Lori. Hello.
Hi, this is Michael calling you from Bell Mobility and Emerging Plus. How are you?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm expecting a doctor's phone call, and so there's no way I couldn't pick up because it always comes through as a number I don't recognize. It was just some kind of sales job on me there. All right, so back to you, Aquarians. It looks to me like you're going to have a nice sweet spot here because the sun is going to light up your finances. Saturn makes things as 2023, March to February 26, structures for saving more money. I sure have. I incorporated under this for stabilizing your finances, for giving you the ability to work hard in order to persevere and increase your financial wellness. And although that's been true since 2023, the North Node amplifies that. And Saturn can support you through to February of 26 to increase your financial gains in ways and levels of success you haven't seen yet. So why I like this energy of the Sun conjunct Saturn, well, it could be hitting a wall. You could hit a bit of a wall of some kind energetically around money, earnings, and income around the 11th to the 13th, overextending your energy, pushing yourself too hard. But it can also be like shining a light on the ways you can create enduring strategies for your career to increase your success financially. And because this Sun Saturn conjunction is in a flowing relationship, a sextile, let's move us into the future so you can see it on that time frame. I'm telling you, the 11th to the 13th, there is indeed the Sun and Saturn at 21 degrees, North Node Neptune, what a beautiful stellium. And the flow is to the surprising, unexpected, sometimes exhilarating Uranus in the fourth house of homeland, property, and real estate. Also, that whole same place in the sky connects to Algol, the star of great wealth. So there's a bit of a surprise financially that's positive. And as the month proceeds towards the end of the month, as we get closer to the end of the month, Mars chimes in and we end up with this kind of mini grand trine that says surprising positive developments about finances and the following themes: work, money, earnings, health improvements, things to do with surprises around pets, and positive, lucrative financial opportunities connected to the word property and rentals, and maybe even purchases in your case. Okay. We'll explain that later because Mercury will retrograde back into Pisces. He's the Lord of mortgages in your chart. So we get this kind of interesting juice for you in the months of March. The total lunar eclipse, blood moon red, coming through on the 14th of the month, happens at 23 Virgo. It's the first full eclipse in Virgo since 18 years ago. So we're going back through an eclipse cycle that is reminiscent of mid 2006 to mid 2008. And this time is very different because of other planetary placements, but it's still the same theme of increase of wealth. Did you increase your wealth? 2006, really to the end of 2008. I did. I sold a property. What did you do? Things we possess are the second house. Increase of possessions, increase of financial gain through possessions, etc. Destined change in your finances. And interestingly, this total eclipse is happening in the 8th house of other people's money in Virgo. What other people's money? The loans, the banks, the mortgages, the investments and the stocks. You're a shareholder. The money you share with your spouse or long-term committed partner, in money from royalties, from book publishing, money from ad revenue, from YouTube or whatever you have going. So you're going to find business partners, including sponsors. Toblerone Chocolate wants me to sponsor them. I love that chocolate. I'll happily do it because I'm a chocolate fanatic. But I'm trying to say there's gains and unexpected increases in your money, but also the eclipse of the 8th house can also take you into a deep soul place because the 8th house is paranormal, channeling the dead, occult mysteries. It's things that are hidden from view anyway. It's the deep substructures of your psyche. And now we have a big, eerie red light there. So it could open you up to spiritual truth and wisdom. It could open up doors to deeper understanding of your soul. I remember going to a transformational workshop with a woman named Morgana Ray. It was cathartic. It was deep, and it transformed my relationship to myself vis-a-vis money and wealth. And I've never looked back. And that was what happened in 2017. So South Node transits can bring that destined change in our psyche and the structures of our soul connected to the moksha liberation of the 8th house. But at the same time, it's like a straw siphoning deep soul stuff into the house of career gains. And so finding both of those to be true is not unusual. a lunar eclipse does not mean something happens on the 14th. It means that you think about that as the blast radius epicenter, where it shoots into the future 6 months ahead and backs up the other way about a month before. So a month before and 6 months after this eclipse, expect some financial changes in your life. You know, if you were relying on money from inheritances or spousal support or investment money and you weren't making money, this will make you make money. Okay. And that's exactly one of the things about it is like, you can't just like pull money now anymore from passive sources. It's going to want you to increase your investment in your own energy to create financial wellness for yourself as well. Now, the other thing about the energy of this blood moon eclipse, right, energetically, is that consider that at 23 degrees of Virgo, and we'll be doing a whole deep dive video on this. So you have to come to my class or just subscribe to my channel. I don't have time to go through this in much depth here, but Uranus is also complying with this eclipse. So it brings positive financial surprises connected to land, property, and real estate, or the word internet if you're on the internet or technology. So it's exciting. It's interesting. It's a crazy ass development. Let's see how it flows for each of us. What about the 14th of the month to the 22nd? Well, before we go ahead and detail some of the action in the sky, we have to take note of the Venus and Mercury retrograde cycle moving through the month of March. Because on the 14th of March, Mercury retrogrades, and the 1st of March, Venus retrogrades. We're going to tie that story into the middle of this video. So let's start with Mercury on the 14th of the month through to April the 7th, going backwards in the sky. Now, Mercury entered into the sign of Aries on March the 3rd. So, that's where he starts off as the month begins. And as he's in the sign of Aries, it's really good for communicating, writing, marketing, selling, podcasting, posting on YouTube, doing social media, learning and studying, all of that, traveling as well. Mercury is doing that vibe, right? And happy doing it from March the 3rd to the 15th. But then on the 15th, he's like, I need to retrograde. I'm going to go backwards from 9 degrees of Aries, and I'm going to slide all the way back by March 30th into the second house. So it's almost like it can be a false start for writing projects, social media engagement, travel plans, right? So it's not a great time for travel plans to work the way you think they are, especially shorter distance travel, domestic travel, because of that retrograde March 15th, right, to the 30th. Be careful there. Travel may not go as you expect. And then on March 30th to April 7th, financial matters that may not go as you expect. It's not a good time, March 30th to April 7th, to actually sign a contract, buy anything at all, a house, a car. If you're going to do that, it has to be because you almost bought the house before and a second chance is there. Okay. Or someone, you were going to buy that car before it fell through and now you can get it again. So retrograde purchases are definitely be cautious March the 30th to April 7th. Wait till April 7th when you'll have a direct motion Mars. Mercury. And Mercury in, houses 3 and 2 in this way that Venus is doing, and we'll talk about Venus in a minute, is also showing you how you can make money through writing, communicating, teaching, marketing, and selling, and social media. Or some of you a brick and mortar business, but these are third house matters Mercury investigates and comes back to tell the money house how to handle it. And then you can move forward on these ideas or contracts or negotiations or whatever after April 7th. Now, Venus, February 4th, entered into Aries. And by the time we get to March the 1st, she's still in Aries. She's moving very slowly. She's at 10 degrees of Aries and she goes retrograde on March the 1st. Take my course. Come join me. Now, 9 and 10 degrees Aries are very hot, as you have been noticing. And I don't even want to talk about that Mercury-Venus conjunction. It's not essential. But I would bring to you the idea that you are going to go into a kind of, what do you value? What do you want to have when it comes to good things in your travel, social media, teaching and writing, marketing and selling, communicating, and commercial oriented third house? Venus is asking you what you desire. She's been saying, what do you desire since February 4th? When she retrogrades on March the 1st, now she's having you go back to the past. Now, technically, a younger sibling, one or aunt, uncle, cousin, nieces, and nephews. These are the people of the third house, neighbors and neighborhood, childhood friends. And technically, March the 1st to the 27th, as she retrogrades in Aries, all those friends from your childhood, your aunts and uncles and cousins, your younger sibling are suddenly fully on in touch with you, phone calls, emails, or old writing projects come back to be edited or worked on or revived, or old courses you've taken come back to be done again or taught. You're going to reteach them, all of that. Then on March the 27th, Venus is sliding into your money house, where she will be going backwards until April the 12th, right? So when it comes to, just like Mercury, purchases of things you want to have, be careful. Because when she goes direct on April 12th and Mercury goes direct on April 7th, both in your earnings money house, then you can make big decisions around financial matters. Then you know what you want to do to spend or to buy or to develop new ways to make money. So you're kind of going to have to go inward here. Now, Mercury retrograde on your second house means money that you could possess or possessions that you used to have come back to you. Someone gives you back the painting that you gave them. Maybe money that, you thought was gone forever. You can repossess it. Money comes back to you. I mean, a tax rebate is a classic example here. It's going to be tax season, and April 7th or April 12th, you get a government tax check because your money comes back to you. So there's that kind of thing going on here as well in that window of time. Let's go ahead and break down the last part of the month. Okay. Number 1, let's go with on March the 14th to the 22nd, the main events are the following 2 things. Sun will co-join Neptune around the 19th and the 20th. I see it. You guys ask me why I don't show you the chart half the time, and you'll see why. It's ascensional times, right? I keep losing it. So here we have March the 20th, and you'll see that the sun, we need to move back a day. March the 19th, the sun is co-joined with Neptune. So a couple of days before, you're really feeling it. Depends on your time zone. It's still active on the 20th, some places in the world. But the 18th to the 20th, sun is co-joined with Neptune. A big flashlight is shining into that which is unclear, confusing, or unsure, to give you a brilliant light of clarity about dreams you wish to make true on your financial front, on your dietary front, including restricting food that's not good for you or substances, and on certainly your earnings front, and your self-worth and self-value front. And so now you have this kind of like dreams become real in a destined way, light of truth and wisdom, the solar energy shining right there. It's a really good moment in time because, they come together in this manner. You're illuminating something for yourself that you need to understand or to see. And as this illumination is happening with the moon in the top of your sky, it's definitely an illumination about the career path as well. And money connected to career. On the 21st to the 22nd, Venus sextiles Pluto. So Venus, Pluto, you'll feel it before that. You'll feel it like the 20th to the 24th, Venus, Pluto sextile. Wealth and riches and earnings connected to the past, connected to writing, teaching, and traveling, connected to siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, and connected to your ideas. And because it's a retrograde Venus, definitely look to the past and, what were you doing? What were you thinking about? Mercury follows up right after that and does the same sextile. So you've got a 2-for deal here. Then he's engaging around the 24th. And now you can make a contract or agreement, or you can have that discussion or sign on that dotted line. But again, with the connection to the past, it's nothing fresh and new. Okay. I've got a book proposal I'm supposed to write for an agent on astrology. I've been too busy since last summer. Haven't done it. Maybe that's me grabbing that opportunity from the past and getting it to complete, for example. So these are themes to consider. And then as we move forward into the 24th to the 31st, we have 2 main things happening here. One, basically the whole last week of the month, 24th of the month to the end of the month of March, a sextile is forming between Saturn and the surprises of Algol and Uranus. Unexpected surprises connected to land, property, home, and real estate, or what you do in the home, or connected to mom or family of origin members. And it literally is connected to Saturn, stability and endurance, connected to money and earnings and possessions. Suddenly there's an unexpected opportunity to sell a house, buy a house, unexpected but positive opportunity to reap some financial solid gains to something you're doing in the home, including the internet. You may have a surprising development in and from the home that is positive for your financial outlook. You may have a dream come true opportunity to purchase or rent a home. That's because Mars is flowing to Uranus as well, creating like a rental home opportunity as a landlord to lease or as a tenant to rent. And then or an unexpected opportunity to purchase a pet, and bang, you've got an animal, or just take in a pet, possess a pet. Because of Mars and Saturn, possibly a rescue. Now, March is also a time from about the 21st of March to about the 7th of April that you can really use a positive Mars trine Saturn. Mars and Saturn work very well together, and this is money connected to work, earnings, and jobs. So you might be working with Mars in the house of joy, in the house of your work. Either you're diligently transforming your dietary style for better health, or exercising for better health, and adapting food style to go with it. And that again is a window of time, March 21st to April 7th. And you are completely disciplined and focused and going for it. Like I might join this new gym down the street and I can see me a 2-week free trial is what they're offering. And I could say, I'll try that free trial. I'll have the stamina, discipline, and active forbearance to do what I've just paid for. So I'll use it that way. But also you can use it for the fact that you want to make money in a stable, increasing way that makes your dreams become real, where you can work hard but not burn out, because the flow allows for working hard, but in a way that's well paced. So adapting that energy to the 21st of March to April 7th can be a good time for you to plan to work hard and smart to get financial increase and career success through that kind of perseverance, discipline, and focus. Okay, for something you want to do there. Lastly, the last eclipse in Aries for another 18 years with the North Node involvement is occurring. The North Node Aries eclipses began in your third house of writing, communicating, teaching in spring of 23, April of 23. The next one was April of 24, and the last one is March 29th of 2025. The only true eclipse fully bound with a node in Aries was April the 8th of 24. This is different. That one was more about what do you want to do to reset your relationship to teaching, writing, communicating, marketing, selling, traveling, a younger sibling, your neighbors and neighborhood. Okay, got that vibe, right? That was March of 23 eclipse. What that did is move me to a new neighborhood, right? Physically. But this one is about the money. This one is connected to the second house of resources, possessions, and earnings. So there is an energy that begins to become available, a portal to something new on March 29th. That's my dad's birthday, fellow Aries. And yet you could feel it building up to maybe 6 weeks before. And then after that eclipse, up to a year later, it's not a one and done. Eclipses never are. So there's some kind of increase in your financial wellness connected to a reset of the third house. So again, marketing, selling, communicating, teaching, learning, traveling, on and on we go. It is a house of enterprise and work. And so again, it's an increase of your finances through changes in the work you do that are destined and fated. And because the eclipse itself is ruled by Mars in the house of work, it's definitely for you a work career change. All right, there's no doubt about it. All right, thank you for listening to this video for the last 25 minutes or so as a fellow Aries. I hope you can enjoy the ride. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It really helps the channel grow. I hope to see some of you in the Venus class. Please check that the enrollment is still open after March 1st. If I keep it open for one extra week, because there are 6 classes, you'll have missed one. I'm still going to keep the price the same. It's complicated if I have to keep adjusting things, but I might keep the 50% discount code active for the latecomers in the class. All right, thanks for listening. Ciao, ciao.